be one to watch here, I think, as the lights go on and the lights go out. And Digby makes a decent-ish start from the second row. But it's Samuel Dennis from the outside of the front row of the grid that's going to lead, I think, into the first corner. Well, that's Mark Dickin weaving his way through in the treble 7 car up into second place. Digby third. Oh, a bit of a touch on the back of Dickin's car, I think, from Ursula Jordan, actually, as they turn their way through Hollywood now for the first time. And they drop down the hill. It's Samuel Dennis. And it is Matt Digby, in fact. I told you to watch out for Matt Digby. He has emerged into the lead of the race from in second place. That's Mark Dickin. And is that Chris Nyland that's got his way up into third place? We'll try and pick that up in a moment. It may well be. He started the race in eighth. But yeah, it is. It's Chris Nyland, 130 car.
Yeah, absolutely. He's on the outside, looking to tuck through on the exit, and I think he got a good run coming out of there as well, out of from McLean's.
Out of McLean's up towards Coppice they go. So there's Nyland with the gold trim on the around the windows of that car. That looks magnificent. He's in the wake of the black and day glow orange treble 7 car of Mark Dickin. And they come down into the corner, and he's a bit sideways. Ooh. He's very sideways. Well, that's Ursula Jordan that spins around, number 94 from pole position. She ends the first lap in the gravel trap. There's gravel all over the circuit now on the exit of the chicane as well. Oh, that's a sad end to the first lap of Ursula's race. It will be the end of her race completely, I think, having started on pole position. There's Joe Jessup up the inside of Chris Nyland now, and he's through into third place. That's a great move from Joe Jessup. And there's another car coming through. That's Jake Hewlett as well. Hewlett from 14th. He's up to 4th now. He's ahead of Chris Nyland, his championship rival. You've got here, actually, the 3 main championship contenders, Jessup, Hewlett and Nyland, right together, Marcus.
That's absolutely incredible, isn't it? And they've all had their battles through the first part of this race. There's almost a touch there on the back bumper of the third place man, whatever, and they come through again. 4 together, disputing 5 together, disputing the minor place. It was a big sideways, and that's 104, is it?
Yeah, Daniel Chapman.
Daniel Chapman going into the gravel and out of it. There's Ursula Jordan's car, and that's well stuck. Yeah. That's not coming out of there.
So no overtaking at the chicane, double waved yellows.
She's still sitting in the car at this point.
Yeah, she is. Marshall's just getting to a position of relative safety as the cars then come through the chicane in single file. And yeah, they are all behaving there by the looks of it. The fastest lap, being clocked up initially to Matt Digby, but then to Joe Jessup, of course. That's before they got to the yellow flags, and to note those times are a couple of seconds off what we saw in the earlier race so far as well. So I think the drivers were paying heed to those yellow flags. 12 minutes of the race left to go. We'll see what's going to be done about that Ursula Jordan car, because it's pretty much on the edge of the circuit. Oh, and that's the car of 25, which is Danny Hobson, the race 1 winner, who's very sideways there. He's not really contending for the championship, so nothing to play for, but equally he's got that car up for sale, so he won't want to throw it at the scenery.
Yeah, that was like the old hairpin, wasn't it? And he hung on to it, but it was a struggle. 25 then, Hobson.
84 Chris Smith behind him. That's 6th and 7th positions that they occupy. And then seeing Joseph McMullen come through next, I think, in 8th place now, number 11, I think. And the 116 car of Matthew Morgan as well. 257 of Matthew Gilby, we're just hearing. Yellow flags still waving down here at the chicane.
No overtaking then.
No.
Oh, another car with a back bumper hanging off.
That's the 13 car, isn't it? Which was on the second round of the grid, Travis Patterson. Chris Nyland's now done the best lap of the race, a 1:21.91. He's still in 5th place though, behind his 2 championship rivals, Joe Jessup and Jake Hewlett, and behind the 2 MDs, Matt Digby and Mark Dickin, who are 2nd and a bit up the road. Here they are, Digby in the green car, long time racer with the 750 Motor Club. Before this he was in Clio's, before that he was in Stock Catch. Dickin in the treble 7, Hyundai Coupe Cup champion. Before that he was a motorcycle racer as well. Just wonder if the second 3 cars are going to edge onto the back of the first 2. There's a snatch vehicle now trying to retrieve Ursula Jordan's car. There is a bit of a gap in the traffic there, but it's a relatively short lap here, minute 23 lap time, so there's not much of a gap to get that work done. So double waved yellows now down into the chicane, and it does take away a prime overtaking opportunity at the chicane, of course, but safety first.
Yeah, and you always wonder whether the temptation among the chasers to just nick a few yards back here actually pans out, because I reckon they're closer coming out than they were before.
Black flag with the orange spot on the right hand side of the screen for those watching on the stream.
That would be 13, wasn't it? The meatball flag for the car with the back bumper hanging off.
Just thinking that. Oh, well, that's one way to try and get rid of it, I suppose, but it's actually not worked.
It's now well and truly wrecked.
It is. Now Dickin here has lost ground, and he's lost a place as well to Joe Jessup, who's gone through at Hollywood. So number 28, Joe Jessup, now ahead of treble 7, Mark Dickin. I think he may have locked up on the way into Redgate. I just heard someone locking up as we just switched that picture of Travis Patterson and his hanging bumper. So now it's Matt Digby out in the lead on his own. It's 4 cars really for second place. Dickin in the treble 7 car now under pressure from Hewlett in 92, and for that matter Chris Nyland in 130 as well. Hewlett in his first season of circuit racing. With a bit more
Hobson and
experience.
Smith did their best last time round, as did Matt Digby.
Best lap of the race altogether has gone to Nyland, a 121.91, which is 7/10 outside of what Hobson
Still
did.
double waved yellows.
Probably for the last time though,
Yes.
it's just. So that car has almost been retrieved. Now they just need to pull it behind the barrier. Good work then there done by the recovery crews. Oh, a mistake there from Dickin at the chicane.
Dickin ran really wide up over the curb, and he's lost momentum as a result of that. He's being attacked down the left-hand side.
As Digby under pressure from Jessup there. So that gap has come down. Jessup did a PB that time, a 122.16. Digby's lapping almost at his personal best, a 122.94 it was for him though. You sense that Digby's going to have to, if he's going to win this race, he's going to have to soak up a lot of pressure here, and it's not just going to come from Joe Jessup, because Jake Hewlett's now got through to third as well, and he is chasing after the 2 leading cars, Digby and Jessup now.
Yeah, he's got his work cut out, still with 7 1/4 minutes to go. It is Matt Digby in the lock up there momentarily from Chaser, which is 28, which is Joe Jessup. It was Joe Jessup who finished second in the previous race. Tight line going into Coppice from the 3rd place car, which is Jake Hewlett, and then the rest making ground towards him as a result of Hewlett losing momentum coming out of the corner. He's under attack now from Chris Nyland down the outside in the red car with the gold top. Here comes Nyland. Behind Nyland we've got Hobson, I think, and then Dickens there as well in that group, isn't he, somewhere recovering from his moment.
Hobson's not there anymore. Hobson's missing out. Chris Smith has come through in 6th, so I think Hobson's had a problem. And oh no, it's beg your pardon, Hobson is there, isn't he? Yeah, he's in that group. Sorry, everybody. Yeah, Hobson's broken away. Yeah, he is 6th, and he's just actually done another lap in the 121s. My mistake. Oh, and look at this. That's about
the car with its nose splitter hanging in the deck. They're the bright green one, 3rd of that group.
And still Travis Patterson circulating with that bumper, rather dangerously hanging on by barely a thread. He's a wonder of engineering how that's not parted company with the car as yet, but it's blowing around in the breeze, and it could be quite dangerous if someone else managed to
probably
run over it.
Probably attached with Gorilla Glue or something like that.
It's not stopping and go past number 83 William Puttergill though. So great scraps down the order here in this TEGIWA Type R trophy.
So that's been over a curb somewhere. He's got a clattering splitter. The one ahead of 13. That's 67. Is it Connor Murphy? Oh,
Yep,
some bit of gravel kicked up.
Yeah, and here are the leaders. They've just started their 8th lap of the race, I think, and it's Digby and Jessup separated by 1400ths. Both did their personal best on the last lap. Retirement for Gavin Johnson there in the PDC Racing Honda. He's out of it. 5 minutes left to go, though. And it's Digby, and he is soaking up the pressure at the moment from Jessup.
About 4 laps, isn't it? But it might just go an extra one.
It was a slow lap from Hewlett last time, wasn't it? 1:23.66. And he's a long way back now from these two. That's a second and a half slower than his best. So, did he make a mistake? I'm trying to see, is he there still? I think he's still there in
They've
third.
not really got involved in traffic, have they? So, not
about
on a regular
to, though.
basis they're going to.
Yeah. Possibly not too much of it to deal with just yet. So there's Digby, and there's Jessup. Separated by 1400ths at the start of the lap. Hewlett and Nyland, is that going to be a change in the background? Nyland and Hewlett, you could just see at the back of shot were about to overlap.
Where's Nyland on the previous lap? Has he got a transponder issue?
Well, he's showing sixth.
Sixth.
But he's fourth on the road there.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, so let's see and watch them come through this time. Nyland's going to have a go along the Whitcroft straight. Great exit from the corner. He's going to get alongside Hewlett this time. And yeah, he is shown in fourth, but he is nosing ahead. He's third briefly as they head into Redgate that time. Hewlett's got the inside line though. You've got Danny Hobson in there and also Mark Dick in as well. Still side by side for third place down the Craner curves. Number 92 Jake Hewlett, number 130 Chris Nyland.
Nyland's got him.
He has.
In the middle element of the Craners.
So he's back through into third place and ahead of his championship rival. But Joe Jessup also is a big contender for the championship as well. Just up the road. Well, I say just up the road. He's now about 3 seconds up the road. Through McLean's they go. 3 minutes to go. Probably 2 laps to go at the end of this one. Yeah, we had 11 laps in the first race, so I imagine we'll get 11 in this one as well. Hobson, you could see going through number 25. There's our race leader, and the lead still hasn't been settled either, has it, Marcus?
No, with 2.5 minutes or so still to go. It's the green and black car of Matt Digby, but chaser Joe Jessup got precious close coming through the chicane. Here's another of the chase groups, that's Hobson in the background, but now Digby's got to be canny. He can't compromise his speed out of Redgate corner, but he's got to defend it as best he can. It's a bit difficult. Nyland's got fastest lap 21.30 this time, only a tenth outside the best lap in the previous race. But Digby from Jessup by barely a fifth of a second.
Daniel Chapman just going through in 8th place in 104, just ahead of a lapped car, in fact that was, wasn't it? Conor Murphy and Ross Borman a bit further back down the order. So working our way around this penultimate lap at the moment, watching these cars go through. But here are the leaders, and they're side by side on the way up to McLean's. Digby on the inside line, he holds it. Jessup had to back out of that now. Has Jessup compromised his momentum up the hill towards Coppice? He's got Chris Nyland right behind him now. Nyland, who did the best lap on the previous lap, is probably going to be contending for that here as well, because he was nearly a second and a half behind the two leaders at the start of this 10th lap of the race. He's right with them now. You've still got Hewlett in there, and you've got Hobson as well. Digby locks up, Digby goes wide, and Jessup goes through. How many places is Digby going to lose here? He's going to lose 4 places, but for Matt Digby with that mistake, Marcus, at the chicane.
And Nyland was on the grass on the exit, wasn't he? So it's, this is far from resolved, but what a drama that was. Poor old Digby back into 5th place. Here comes Nyland. He wants the cut back on the exit of Redgate. He's got the car pointing down towards the inside of Hollywood. Down he goes. And he's got the slightly longer way through this bit of the corner, but if he can hang on in there, he can get that advantage down into the old hairpin, and he does. He breaks fractionally later, albeit on a slightly tightened line, and he comes out ahead.
He does indeed. So it's number 130 Chris Nyland now into the lead of the race from Joe Jessup, who held it for not even a third of the lap, or maybe just about a third of the lap. So 28 Joe Jessup back to second place. Number 92 Jake Hewlett third. These are the three championship contenders. Nyland's gone wide. Nyland's gone off the circuit. We can't even see him. He's gone so far wide. And that means it's two cars battling for the lead side by side. And it's Hewlett. Hewlett takes the lead now. That's 4 different leaders.
And Hobson's on the inside as well.
We could have 5 different leaders in the space of 1 lap here if Hobson can charge it before they get to the line. I don't think he's going to make it though. So it's going to be Hewlett, who started this race 14th, that's coming down into the chicane for the final time, the Robert chicane. They're all cleanly through there this time. 0 on the clock. Up to the line they come. And it's going to be from 14th on the grid, Jake Hewlett, that wins. And look how happy he is in the TEGIWA Type R Trophy. Round number 9 of the season goes the way of Jake Hewlett. What a final lap or so that was. 4 different leaders in the space of just over 1 lap. And Jake Hewlett gets his 4th victory of the season now. And second place went to number 28, Joe Jessup. Third to number 25, Danny Hobson. Matt Digby, number 97, was 4th. Chris Nyland did come across the line in 5th. I mean, that's a relief because he was so far off. It wasn't even picked up by our cameras up there at McLean's. Mark Dickens 6th, Chris Smith 7th, Daniel Chapman 8th, Conor Murphy 9th, and Ross Bourman rounded out the top 10. But that was absolutely sensational.
That was mega, wasn't it? Just superb. And Digby had to feel for him because he did all the hard work absorbing that pressure for so long. Made that little mistake coming into the chicane, the penultimate lap. He went from 1st to 5th at that point. Recovered to 4th. But Hewlett then, what a great run he's had through. 14th in the earlier race.
Yeah, and that was from 27th, of course, at the end of the first lap of the first race. So that's quite the comeback from Jake
27
Hewlett.
to 14 to 1.
Yeah, brilliant stuff, and that will give him some confidence going into the next rounds of the championship. But let's have a look at the results then. Number 92, Jake Hewlett, it was that took the win in that 11-lap race from number 28, Joe Jessup. 4 tenths between them at the end. In third place, number 25, the race 1 winner, that was Danny Hobson. Fourth place, number 97, Matt Digby. And fifth, number 130, Chris Nyland, the man that was leading the championship going into that round. In sixth place, Trouble 7, Mark Dicken. Seventh to number 84, Chris Smith. Daniel Chapman was 8th, despite an off in car 104 on the first lap. 9th to number 67, Conor Murphy. He too had to come through from the back. And 10th was number 66, Ross Bourman. Further back, Travis Patterson stayed out there despite his flapping rear bumper. He was ahead of William Putskill and Joe McMullen. Daniel Bailey and Tim Neckland 14th and 15th, ahead of Matthew Morgan, Sam Dennis, Matthew Duffel, James Manson and Craig Atkinson. And we lost in the course of that race Gavin Johnson, Jack Thompson, not forgetting Ursula Jordan as well on the first lap of the race. Let's head down to the pit lane once again. Josh Barrett is going to speak to a very happy Jake Hewlett.
Yeah, thanks Ian. We're down here after that lively end to the TEGIWA Type R Trophy action here at Donington Park. Jake Hewlett's being congratulated by his team down here. Then we'll grab a word of him once he gets out of the car. Also chat to Joe Jessup and to Danny Hobson, who completed the podium. Jake gets out of his car. He started 14th in that race to take the win. Well done, Jake. I'll give you your garland there. That was quite the race, wasn't it?
Quite the change from earlier, wasn't it? Yeah, we knew we just had to try and score points this weekend, so that was the aim with the first race. Obviously, we decided that we would fancy a bit of rallycross this time out, but luckily we kept everybody else out of danger. Yeah. Obviously, didn't rejoin the circuit dangerously. That was race 1. We got back to 14th, and then this race, same again. Just focused on picking off who I could, when I could, and securing some points really. So to come away with a victory, just wow. Brilliant. Can I say a massive thank you to all my personal sponsors that were on the car, which of course you've seen. A big thanks to DH Racing for helping out this weekend, Area Motorsport, TEGIWA, On a Mission, you name it. Everyone's just been brilliant. We've had so many problems, and yeah, to get a win, thrilled.
Talk us a bit about that last lap, because I think almost all of you led the lap at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. It was great patience from Nyland, so I've got to thank Nyland. Yeah. Absolutely, great patience from him. He knows what he's doing, as do many people on the field. So yeah, it was, you know, we was changing backwards and forwards, and there was a lot of respect there, which is good.
And now heading towards the end of the season, it's a very close championship battle to enjoy.
It is, yeah, it is. Who would have thought we'd have been in this place, right? So yeah, we're very, very grateful for any positive result. and all the support we get 24/7. Just massive thank you to everyone.
And again, this is your first season in car racing, and I'm sure you're enjoying it.
Yeah, for my first ever season, of course. Yeah, it's been pretty good. We could say that. Yeah, pretty good. So we're working things out as we go, and hopefully we can keep getting stronger and stronger.
Well, congratulations there, a great race there, and a great result there for Jake Hewlett to be the race winner. In second place was Joe Jessup. So let's see if we can grab a word with Joe. Joe, second place there, good points, but that was an entertaining race to watch anyway.
Yeah, it was a real close race, real tough race. Got another good start, managed to get towards the front, and then it was just so close between all of us. It was, real tough race, but enjoyable one.
Yeah. And you all behind Matt for such a long time, you almost managed to get past him. I think you did, but then the others came as well.
Yeah, he was really good at defending into the first corner. I didn't want to sort of bash him around or anything like that, so I just had to choose my moment. Managed to get him down at the chicane, and then I think everybody had sort of bunched up behind. So, made the last few laps a bit interesting.
From a championship point of view, I think you probably came out with the most points out of the three of your main contenders this weekend, so that's good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if I thought I was going to get 2 second places before the weekend, I'd be really chuffed. So, yeah, it's good news.
Well done, Joe. Second place, and in third place was Danny Hobson, so let's have a word with Danny. A good result there for your team as well as for you.
Yeah, cracking result. It's nice to have a double podium, especially in this championship. Yeah, great.
And you said earlier you've been a few years out of racing, so I'm sure you've had an enjoyable day, a win and a third.
Yeah, great day. Obviously it makes it chasing Joe. I had a few big moments out there and a bit of damage here and there, but we managed to close it back. I thought one more lap, I think we could have maybe won that.
Does it make you want to come back and do some more racing now?
It does, but I need a championship with no customers in because it's a bit busy during the day.
Well, well done on third place. So that completes our day of racing for the Type R Trophy. There's more racing though to come still here at Donington Park. Up next will be the Armed Forces Racing Challenge.